Hello class, I know it's been some time since my last video. Uh, Life is busy and I even have to breathe once in a while and uh, go for a bike ride or some good self-care. So I hope you're all doing well during these strange times. So if you noticed, the first chapters focused in on how to interview, how to use different techniques to form rapport with the client, and how to engage and how to get information. Now you see we're moving into more of like the record keeping part, how to do a mini mental if it's needed, also how to do the first interview. Now we've talked about how to engage, but I even want you to be aware of what does your office look like. Is it opening? Is it more about statement of your individuality? Or is it airy and conducive to a client feeling comfortable? Even the waiting room, what does it look like? How you dress, how you greet someone. I always think of people coming into my office, and that's why I'm walking around right now. Had a cappuccino. I'm a little sped up right now. So how you go and introduce yourself, how you're dressed. The moments you see someone is the start of building rapport. And it's important to make someone feel comfortable. It's important to greet them. Now with social distancing, it's not a handshake anymore, but there are other ways of making clients feel welcome in your office and your place of business. So now once we start gathering the information, we go into the record keeping, and most agencies are going to have their own forms that you're going to use. So in your what do you call it when oh my gosh, when you sought out a place, when you go through the in-service, they're going to show you their forms, and it's either going to be on paper or electronically. So it's best to get familiar with them and be comfortable with them before you start using them. Every agency is going to have their own policies and procedure. Every agency is going to have their form, but basic information is basic information, and you'll see that they're all pretty much the same. You gotta get someone's name, address, why they're coming in for, and that's when you're doing that initial interview and having them fill out the paperwork. A lot of places now will have you fill out paperwork before you even come in, and so you may be handed a chart started already, which will then just make your job easier and just do your interview questions and to get to know the client. At this time in your interview process, if you find, hey, something's up, meaning that the person may not be of sound mind, that's when you could do the mini mental examination. And then if it seems warranted, that's when, remember, medical always first, then you may want them to go to a doctor to get an evaluation. Or if they're also complaining about any other physical ailments, definitely, even if you know it's anxiety or think it's anxiety, have that client go to their doctor and get checked out. So filling out the forms, remember, no blanks, add NA or not applicable. So this, we know you did not forget it and that it's just not pertinent information or that it's not pertaining to this client. Remember, blue or black ink, never in pencil. And remember, if you didn't do it, it's not done. I can't tell you how many times some of the best clinicians are the worst charters, and they're always having problems with management. And then some of the worst clinicians are very good at charting, and they usually get promoted because on paper they look better. So it doesn't matter how brilliant you are. If you don't write it, it's not done. You gotta look at the chart as a story that, say, if you get fired or seen this, someone gets let go, and then you just get someone's charts. You get 10 new clients, and the charts are shit. They're not kept up to date. The plan's not up to date. And the most embarrassing thing you have to do is call a client to ask them, well, what's going on? Where did we leave off with you? So it's important to have good charts. Any place you work should give you time for charting. It's as simple as that. Also, if you're a private case manager, that's how you bill. You gotta justify your phone calls, your visits, and you do that by charting and then putting what time increments you were working on for that client, and then those are billable hours. Always round up to the 15. What else? So it's important to keep your charts up to date. Also, if there's any legalities going on, the chart is your proof. You can't say, oh, well, I did do this with the client, and the judge is going to ask, well, where in the chart does it say that? And you're going to be shit out of luck. What else is important about charting? It's how you communicate with other vendors. So it's important to have up-to-date releases, and we'll go into about medical releases and HIPAA confidentiality. So that's the chart and why it's important. And how they focus on it. So remember, the initial appointment's so important. You're setting the tone. You're letting them know what your role is, setting boundaries and expectations. What's the role of the agency? And also to find out what the presenting issues are, find out strengths and weaknesses, do your psychosocial or biosocial, and they call them all different things, or psychosocial, and I forget what the one on the midterm is called, but you'll see, it's all basically the same stuff. So to find out what's going on, fill out the forms, have them sign, releases that they're engaging you, or sign a bill of rights. And then at the end, it's your job to talk about confidentiality, when you could break it. And at the end, a summary of what you're going to do next, what they're doing next, and then setting up your next meeting. When working for agencies, you're also going to have different agencies have different target populations that they probably work with. So that's also is going to dictate different things versus, the intensive case management or just case management or targeted case management. So different populations, different target or clients are going to dictate different types of paperwork. As I said, once you start working in the field and you're working for an agency, they're going to have all this stuff, and when you start, they're going to give you the information and policies and procedures and teach you their system. So some housekeeping stuff. Some of you, please don't get behind. I think we're at the halfway mark. So let's get the work in. If you haven't realized it by now, this is a small class, so I'm not giving late points, but I do need the stuff, and there's some deadlines that I have to submit grades. But don't let yourself fall behind, because then it'll be that much harder to catch up. The midterm. I couldn't get it on like a fill-in PDF, so print it out, fill it out, and then you submit. You could scan it and send it to me, or you could send it to my fax, which is 321-951-3987. That's 321-951-3987. So you can fax, scan, or if you want to mail it, just let me know, and I'll give you my office address, and whatever works best for you. on it, you don't have to give me real client information, whoever you interview. One of your classmates had this question. Of course, I don't want to know their name. I don't need their social security number. And I don't need any personal information. I'm more interested in you getting comfortable interviewing someone, asking a bunch of questions, and then submitting it. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to let me know. And so far, the work that's been submitted is amazing. I love reading it, so keep up the great work. Of course, if I have any individual questions, I will let you know. I hope you're enjoying the class so far, but if you have any questions, please, please, please text, call, email. I'm here to help you. I'm not here, as I said, I'm treating everyone like you're gonna work for me. So if you don't understand, you're gonna mess up, and I'm not gonna be, I can't help you then if I don't know there's an issue. And if I'm your boss and you're not doing something right, then I'm gonna have to address it. So ask the questions now, and I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll chat with you next week. Bye.